I'm going to be showing you guys the top 4 lock builds in the game. This is going to be my last time making a lock video because I really have perfected everything to the finite detail, the most small detail. Like it's as optimized as it's going to be. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start. So each one of these different playstyles are a different role, and depending on how you would like to make your lock, you can find success with these. Now, any one of these is going to be able to guard the 1 through 4 absolutely easily. And the majority of these, all of these can guard the 1 through 5, except this one. But this one has a lot more offense, so you're taking away some of that. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop straight into it. So the first one we have here is the defensive menace. Just looking at this build, you need to make him 6'8", 231 pounds, 7'5" wingspan. So with this, you get the ability to dunk with the 65. That gives you access to athletic hands. That's all you really need in this game in order to be able to dunk whenever you have the lane, which means if you're running down a fast break, you're going to be able to go crazy with this. Now, this is more of an on-ball defender. If you're guarding like ISO guard, or if you're playing Pro-Am and they're playing off the screens, and the PG's not really a shooter, he has 94 drive and dunk, and he's really looking to slash, so he really can't like go crazy. This is what you want to go ahead and try and get to guard that person, because you're going to be able to still play 5 out if that's what you're looking for. You're going to be able to still shoot if that's what you're looking for. You still can use a T-Mac base. Even though T-Mac is at 87, if you use Jared Culver, then you can still get access to be able to. That's exact same animation. It's a little bit slower by a few milliseconds, but that won't make a difference. The challenge reduction is almost identical. So you also get a good free throw, so that's good. But you have the 75 pass average. So if you want to use this as a back end, you can. And if you wanted to kind of use it as a center, you can get away with it somewhat, but not really. But it's more of a back end. It can be an on-ball lock. It can play the shooting guard spot. Now, you might be asking yourself, why does it go with the 40 speed with ball? Because if you didn't know, Pro allows for you to get that little cross launch that everyone likes, right? You can get that same launch with Chelsea Gray with just 40 speed with ball, and it's relatively cheap to kind of go for. So this allows for you to really be able to not only create your shot in the mid-range with these stats, which is actually really good if you're trying to actually score if the ball gets in your hands in Pro-Am. You need to be able to create your shot. And the animations that you get from actually using the Chelsea Gray, they're all like animations where, how can I say it? It's like, it's not really stillable. You're always playing away from them, so this really works in your favor, and that's all you need in order to be able to create your shot. But also, this helps you actually drive and do stuff like that. Again, if you get the lane, so good stuff. So you're able to still do some sort of shot creation here, so that's really good. You also have the 82 interior. Again, you need that in order to shut down people who are, again, just driving on you, and you want to play hands-up defense. 82 is a good spot to reach, but it also allows for you to really play defense against, let's say you're going against those guys who are in a 1v1 stage, 2v2, 3v3, who literally their whole build is to kind of, drop stepper you. This helps you to actually get that to stop, especially with the immovable enforcer as well. 93 perimeter, it sucks you couldn't get for 94, but I want you to pay attention to your height and also your wingspan. Even though you don't get Challenger on Hall of Fame, which is the only reason why you would want to go for 94, because all the other ones are really trash or not really worth it. 94 feet, you can do that just because you have 90 strength on top of having to go back, so nothing changes there really. And then the Challenger, all these other stuff that you would get at 94, none of those are important except Challenger on Hall of Fame. Now, Challenger on Hall of Fame is really good, but because you're 6'8", and you're a 7'5" wingspan, you will not feel the difference between that, because everything is going to be a challenge anyway, so that does not matter. It's kind of not that important. 95 still, because again, if you're going to be playing back end with it, if that's what your playstyle is, or if that's where they're putting you at to try and guard the back end, you need to be able to intercept that at a very high clip, and this allows for you to do exactly that. 92 blocks, so that way again you can go crazy whenever you're playing back end, or if you're playing on ball defense and he slashed and you're a little bit out of position, you have chase down artist on goal on top of anchor on goal. And if you did not know, anchor allows for you to, whenever you're out of position and you jump, to make people miss layups whenever you just jump the moment that they get in an animation. So you can take people out of dunks even if you're in bad position, especially position dunker dunks, which is really important. But also you can actually stop people who are going for layups, even though you like are playing good defense. Having a 92 block on top of an 82 interior means that you don't have to jump, but when you do jump the second time, it's going to make it to where that basically makes them miss. So now you don't have to be forced to jump in order to get a contest because you have the high interior. But if you do jump, your anchor's going to proc and it's going to really help you out. But not only that, this actually makes you play elite defense whenever it comes to guarding the perimeter and also guarding the pick and roll, because you still get pick and roll on gold here, which is really, really important, by the way. But having that 92 block allows for you to really, if you're fighting through a screen and then they're trying to shoot a shot and you jump out of that screen, that will be your best friend, because not only that, if you bit the wrong way, let's say you did a step back and you're trying to jump back to contest, your block being this high and your vertical being this high means that you literally get the best contest in the game, even whenever you made a mistake. So this build is truly an on-ball lock. You're going to be dominant with that. 92 defensive, because again, if you're trying to use it as a back end. 81, 72, you can't go any higher. 90 strength, because you need that 80 vertical, so that way again you can get boards a lot easier, but also that way you can actually contest a lot better. But also this just allows for you to play the best defense in the game, really. So 80 vertical is really, really good, but also the chase down artist on go. If you do make a mistake and they get you beat, you can still go ahead and swat that shot. Anyways, that's the first build. This build is extremely good. Now this one is identical in many ways, except you're not really more of an you're still an on ball lock, but the moment they get past you, you're gonna have to meet them at the spot or play a much better defense at slashing. But you can still be an on ball lock, you can still get all the steals you want, but this one comes with a lot of offense. So if you're if you're a scorer naturally and you want to be able to still score and still have great lockdown defense, you can play in the corner, you can play at the hash, you can play an on ball lock. You just cannot guard the 5 with this build. That's it. You have an 85 driving level, because it just kind of comes with it, honestly. And this gives you access to deep books, so that way if there's a good center in the paint and you're trying to do a floater, you're trying to do a scoop layup, or you're trying to do just a regular layups and get a lot of challenge reduction, so that way you can finish them at a very high clip. And if they jump at the wrong time, where they jump early or late, or if they jump in there slightly out of position, then you're always going to get an open. That's the whole point for this. Having this means that you're not a liability when it comes to finishing in the paint at the highest level, which can kind of make you a little bit cookies. 96 3-pointer, because that is the sweet spot this year. With a 96, that gives you gold limitless range, and ever since that badge was buffed, this is now the perfect spot to actually put your attributes in order to be able to shoot from the deepest part of the hash without taking. When you do have take, you can literally shoot from the half court line whenever you have Mamba. But if you're shooting from like the logo, you can actually do that with just regular take. So this build is literally going to drop you 30 plus points a game every single time, and you have a 75 ball handle on top of it, so you're a 2BH. You might be thinking, what's the whole point of this? How are you going to get anything done with that? This gives you access to the Ja Morant aggressive, which allows for you to crap the crap out of people, and a bunch of other dribble moves that I talked about in a video before. And you might think the 60 pass accuracy is not a lot, but it's actually all that you need in order to be able to go crazy. I actually have 52 on my build that is just like this one, except I went for the 98. I thought it was a little bit of a waste, so that's why I'm making this one now. But yeah, I have 52 on that one, and I've been able to throw absolute dimes with that. And again, this is higher than that, so you're going to be able to get everything you need. Pass accuracy is honestly really overrated this year. Only bad IQ people are complaining about pass accuracy. You really don't need it higher than anything. Unless you're playing PG, then I would recommend going for 77. Just so that we have needle threader on at least bronze, because all the attention is on you. But anyways, moving forward. Again, interior defense 55, so that way, again, you can get those stops if you are playing good defense whenever, or they just kind of, the body contact kind of led you in the paint. They're not going to be able to go do anything like between you. They're not going to be able to just bully you out of the way, which is the whole point of this. So if you play good defense, you get rewarded. Again, without having to overput points into this to like kind of boost yourself, but again, rewarding you if you play good defense to be able to get the stop. Same thing with block here. If you jump at the right time, it's going to really help you to get those contests whenever you're going against people who are literally just trying to bully you like that. So again, not over putting points into it, so you might be like, well, what you really going to do with a 60 block? But this also helps you get really good contests whenever you're playing on the perimeter as well, so that's really important. Now your vertical is not as high, so you're still going to be kind of not able to jump as high when it comes to these sort of like vertical contests whenever you're out of position. But if you're playing good defense, I have a build that's literally these exact same stats, and I am my team's best lock with this build. So imagine what it will be like with the other build that I just showed you. Anyways, so you have all that you need in order to make this build work. 94 perimeter defense, 91 steal, but mainly the 90 strength, which allows for you to be the best on-ball lock in the game and also stop a lot of slashers before they can even get past the perimeter. Again, you have the 77 for the fast feed on goal. This allows for you to really correct really well. And also if you're using my bounce technique that I talk about in my meta defense guide video, then this is actually really, really important for you. Anyways, moving forward, 99. So yeah, you're going to be going crazy with this build. This is an extremely deadly offensive build and an extremely deadly defensive build. This build can literally do everything at the highest level. You just have to know what you're doing. This one here is more of a like on-ball stiller or just a stiller in general. You're focusing more on stilling if that's more of your play style. So again, you are again have the 55 for the Klay Thompson, which is actually a really good dunk package. Again, I go around here just because this is my sweet spot. I know that if I have this, I can find a lot of success in pro-am without having to worry about throwing steezies because or my passes being too slow and my people who I'm making the read are still able to shoot their shot in time. That's why I have this here. Anyways, you get the 87, so you have access to T-Mac, which is really cool. The 79, so you can again shoot out the gym with that. You can shoot deep hash with, or you can shoot from the hash with this as well, without takeover. You just have to know your strap. 99 free throw, which kind of comes with it, but again, that 40 speed with ball with the Chelsea, it's really important. 82, so again, you can actually guard on ball slashers extremely well without having to worry about jumping. Like the other build that I just showed you, you would have to jump in order to get those stops whenever you do get beat. So or just let the center or the corner kind of take over and hopefully your body contact kind of keeps them like stuck for a little while until they actually get their lane or whatever. But this build, you don't have to worry about any of that. You can actually just straight up go ahead and just guard it all by yourself, which makes you very, very valuable to a pro-am team. So you have the 82 interior, you have the 94 perimeter, which is really good, the 99 steal, 87 block. So there's no weaknesses on this build. Even the 60 defensive rebound and bronze rebound tracer is actually a huge boost to your rebounding. So this is really, really good, especially if you're playing in a 2v2 or 3v3 or a 1v1 or a pro-am setting where everyone's playing on ball and he's driving and then he throws up something back because he thought he was going to get something different, and you're going to be able to go up for that board really quickly before anyone else can get there. And this really does make a huge difference in playing good defense. So very important. I would not skip out on that. 85 speed, so that way you can keep up with the big boys. 77 again. 90 strength, beautiful. You have to have it. You cannot cheat on that. 80 vertical, so again, you're playing the best defense when it comes to guarding the perimeter and it comes to stopping slashers, which is honestly this game's play style because it's easier to guard the three honestly than it is to guard like the slashing because of position dunker and how it works. So yeah, this is a very, very dominant build. You can guard again the 1 through 4. You can still guard the 1 through 5 with this build. You can still guard the 1 through 5 with this build, but you can't guard the 1 through 5 with this. You can only guard the 1 through 4. But this one, you can really get a lot of work done. Now, this one is your center build. This is your 1 through 5 lock. This is your true lock. This is a dangerous build. But again, it's oriented around a certain role. So it's an inside big. You're going to have the 97 dunk to 65 again for that same old thing there. And as you again get your takeover, you get your boost. The 65 actually goes all the way up to a 75, which is actually really good because then that boosts all your attributes. And whenever you get into Mamba, which you should get literally every game because, I mean, defensively, you're literally like impossible to stop. You're going to get Mamba every time, so your inside scoring is going to be absolutely insane, especially because, again, you're going to get driving dunk. You're going to basically be operating with a 99 standing dunk on this build, so you're going to be absolutely a monster. 86 pass, so again, you can throw those dots as a center. 82, all you're going to need. 85, now you can actually drop this to 82 if you need because you already have 99 strength and Hall of Fame immovable enforcer, which is the best defensive badge. That is your clamps, so you don't have to go for this, but there's really nothing else you can put it into outside of like free throws, so I went ahead and went for it here. The 89 still for the interceptor on goal, so again, if you're playing corner, if you're playing in the middle, or if you're just trying to guard the pick and roll and be able to just be there, be present, so that way no one else has to do it, so everyone can just guard their corners, everyone can just guard their whatever, and you shut down the pick and roll with this build, and they can't just pass it down the middle because you're right there. That gold interceptor really does allow for you to steal that at a very high clip, making the PG scared to throw that pass, and now he's having to work harder in order to score. 92 block because, again, the gold anchor. 90 offensive rebound. So check this out. 90 offensive rebound. That's really, really good because a lot of builds will have a 92 defensive rebound with gold rebound chaser, which means you're going to have a 90 offensive rebound with Hall of Fame rebound chaser. And for the people who went for 99 O board and 85 defensive rebounds on 7 footers, you're going to have a higher attribute stat than them, which is going to make you absolutely a monster. Now, you're going to be 6'8 and 7'6 wingspan, so you might be like, that's not good, but this is actually a longer wingspan, or, I mean, this is actually the same wingspan that you're going to find on 7-footers. So, this is actually really, really good. Like, I promise you guys, you're going to be able to snack with the big boys. And 99 defensive rebounds, so that way, again, you can snack like crazy. You don't want to be sauced on in the paint whenever it comes to getting those boards. So offensively, you're going to be a monster. Now you might be saying to yourself, why in the heck would you make an inside big? That's not really playing. You're a liability on your team. No, you are not, and we are not, because we have 99 strength. This gives us Hall of Fame brick wall, which means if you have any PG who can shoot or any sort of idea of how to slash whenever he's playing with an inside big as well, then this build becomes again the most valuable build for your team as a center, because you're literally going to make it to where if they do not help, I don't care if they have 98 perimeter defense with Hall of Fame pick dodger, it will not matter. And especially if they're running 94 perimeter defense, 90 strength, and pick dodger on goal, it will not matter. They're gonna get absolutely screwed by these Hall of Fame brick wall screens. And whenever I did this test, I decided I need to make a build that can get this. But everything at 7 foot or 6'10" or whatever was already like really hard to get this while having everything else that you're gonna need. So this build is literally the best inside big in the game, because not only are you going to be absolutely insane on offense with just this and this, but you're going to give your team so much defense that makes a lot of like 2-3 zones, or whenever you're having to switch to 3-2 because everyone can shoot and they're playing a little bit more of a 5-out sort of offense, you're not going to have to worry about any of that at the center position. You can get your stops, you can battle with the big boys. They're not going to be able to score on you because again, you have a movable enforcer on Hall of Fame, so they can't back you down. You're going to be stronger than them strength wise. You have weight on your character. You have 99 defensive, 90 O board, 92 block, 89 steal. So it's not like if you're playing one of those guys who's a point center who decided, oh, I'm going to have the bright idea to be a center with a little bit of ball handle because they won't be able to guard me. You're going to get steals like that. And if you know how to do right stick ripper, I actually did this against a center who was trying to do that because he had a shot. So he was trying to create a shot, and I stole the ball every single time with right stick ripper. I have this build, and this build is extremely dominant. I am a monster. So yeah, on top of that, you have the 80 verticals, so that really does help you again to get all those stops and stuff like that. If you wanted to go for the chase down artist on Hall of Fame, you could, but this build can actually guard the 1 through 5 like the best. This build can, you might think this build can't guard the 1, but because of the fact that this build has the 85 perimeter, and that's all you really need, because whenever you're playing with 99 strength and Hall of Fame immovable enforcer, everything is body contact. They cannot drive, which means they have to run away from you or create an angle. And if they're trying to create an angle, then that means they really can only L2 counts whenever you bite wrong in order to stop you, making you extremely sticky on defense. So you're going to be absolutely insane. So yeah, 95 for the workhorse on goal. This is the best builds in the game for 2K at you playing lock. You're going to find a lot of success by doing all of these. It's Zuko, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy. We are Audi 5000.